Collections. So it is basically...
That's our theme song. Yeah.
We're working on it at the moment, the jungle. No, basically I had loads and loads of clothes at my house, and I'm one of those people where like I literally wear the same thing pretty much 3 days a week, and people will send stuff, and my friends usually would be first dibs on all my spare clothes.
True.
But after a while you're kind of like, okay, my friends don't actually need it as much as other people out there. Why don't we do something? It was like a collaboration idea, wasn't it? Idea to put on an event where we sell our clothes that either we don't want or don't fit us, or just we haven't worn in a while, and that's still in good condition for a lot cheaper to people, and raise money for different charities each time we do it. And that is collections.
And so then, I guess after the pop-up shop, when we realised we were going to have loads of clothes left over, it made sense for us to have a website as well. So essentially, we're selling clothes 24/7. We have our own shop, you know.
We're shop
I haven't
owners.
really thought about this, but we own our own online shop.
Yeah.
So Collections is a website that exists. You can buy clothes 24/7, 365 days a year, and then every once in a while, we find spaces, create pop-up shops, and people come down and buy the clothes in person. So for our second pop-up shop, we realised we were going to have it in London, in the centre of London. It's a place that obviously, Maya, you work in central London.
Yeah.
And we are always here, whether she's wearing a face mask on Oxford Street.
No, just to put that in context, I arrived today in a face mask, but I was supposed to get dropped off outside where we are today,
Didn't
but
happen.
instead I was dropped off on Oxford Street, full mask, looking like a ham face.
Yes, exactly.
It's fine.
So we're here all the time is the point.
Yeah.
In face masks or trying to be inconspicuous and get in and out really quickly. And we see obviously a lot of people that spend time here, whether they be tourists, people with loads of shopping bags, and we also see people who sell the Big Issue magazine as well. And for us to be in central London on their home turf, I think it made perfect sense for us to raise some money here and then donate the money to them, and of course to the Big Issue Foundation. It kind of just made perfect sense, really.
Yeah. For the longest, like, Big Issue magazine I've seen since I was little, growing up, outside shops in Bristol, like wherever I go, you see the Big Issue, and I think it's such an amazing cause, and I think what they do is so important. And obviously homelessness is a massive issue in the UK and all over the world, and if we're in a fortunate position where we can raise money for other people, we want to do as much of that as we can.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, it took me a long time to sort of understand what the Big Issue was. I would always see people selling it, but it didn't occur to me who was selling it and what it was about. So once I sort of educated myself on that as well, that was something that was really touching to me, and I thought was really amazing that you have the people who are in these situations, who really understand what this is about, who are going through it. There are a lot of things that, you know, we take for granted in our lifetimes, and a lot of things that we sort of wake up and they're normal to us. And it's not until you're in a situation where things aren't going so well that you really start to think about the fact that actually this could be someone's everyday life. And so for me, homelessness, growing up in a family who aren't even from, my mum and dad are not from here, and them having to find a place to live in England when they first got here, and raise a family, there are so many issues that I think we can overlook. And so charity in general for me and Maya is something really close to our hearts, because we've definitely been in situations where we've needed help from other people.
Yeah.
And we've needed someone to support us in some way. And yeah, I think homelessness is definitely up there. As I read more and more stats about it as well, it's definitely up there as something that I think is very important and quite critical and needs immediate